Today I'm at Image 360 in Boise, Idaho because I have some big things happening to the Gladiator, not to the 392, not yet. Today it's all about the truck. So let me take you in and show you what we're working on. Going back to where they're working on the truck. So in here they've got all their printers and vinyl stuff. I don't even know what all that goes into that. But I do know is we have a killer design and we're gonna change the way this truck looks dramatically. So in here is where they have brought the Gladiator trip to get worked on for the next 2 days. And I cannot wait to show you what the design is. But before I do, let me tell you a little bit about the thought process that went into it. So having a vehicle that you make videos about and put on YouTube means that you probably want it to look a little bit different. In my case, I want it to look a lot different. And so I've been working with the designer here at Image 360, and we've been going through a lot of different iterations. And while I'm gonna wait until the end of the video to show you what this design looks like, let me tell you that it's not like anything you've ever seen before. So in terms of like a rig that goes out into the wilderness, it's not camo, it's not topo, it doesn't have anything to do with like trees or nature of the earth. It's a very, very different design, which is something that I really love. It's really inspiring to me, and I think it's gonna look really special on camera, but it's not what you might be expecting. So you can see they've just been doing some prep work. They took the non-functioning hood scoop out. Maybe one of these days we'll make that thing really function. Took the doorknobs off, the rear view mirrors. They've just kind of stripped the whole thing down because we're about to start putting on some pretty cool stuff. Okay, moment of honesty here. So I'm the one who did this Gladiator template, and we're having a discussion about what we should do here, because originally the tailgate was going to be black and this was going to be framed by white, but I didn't get that on there very straight. So you can see, number one, it's not really square, and so putting a black frame around that is going to make it look like it's not straight. And then look at this bad boy right here. So see that little hole right there? You can see that. That's my faulty install job when I put this thing on the tailgate. I just did it wrong. So I think we're going to take these off and make it all black, and then do kind of black on black. So Galen here is our automobile wrap specialist, and he knows how to do things that probably seem very simple and rudimentary to him, but are like mind-blowing to me. So because there's no template for the Gladiator piece on the tailgate, what he's done is he's put down this like sticky paper, waxy paper thing. Oh, it's like a massive thing of masking tape, and he's just making his own template. I mean, seems so smart, but also I think it takes a smart person to think of something so simple. Okay, problem number two is that we're going to do a wrap that has a white as a base coat. And then there's going to be graphics on top of that. Well, we have to figure out what to do with the stuff that's already on the truck. And so I think what we're going to do is take the Mojave off the truck. You guys are just going to you're going to have to trust me that this is a Mojave. We're going to take that off, and then we're going to do something. Maybe we'll put Venture to Rome here or something like that, which I think would be cool. I kind of hate to take this off because I like that it says Mojave there. But let's see what the designer comes up with in terms of how Venture to Rome might look here on the hood. James has been working hard on figuring out font work, and I think we're gonna go with some version of this. I can't wait to see what that looks like on the actual Gladiator. I think that's gonna look great. While the crew was working hard getting the new design put onto Trip, I took a minute to sit down with the owner of Image 360, Robert, and just talk about the project in general. So Robert, you are the owner of Image 360 and Allegra?
Correct.
And how long have you been doing this?
So we bought, it was Sunny's Now franchise in actually 2005.
We started talking about this a while ago, you and I. We started talking about this project with the truck and potentially a project with the 392. And the design process for me was really interesting. So basically I sent a bunch of photos and things over to James, the designer, and he would then send me back a bunch of ideas, and we would kind of riff on those. Right. And what we landed on is something that, like, I am super excited about. But my question is, like, is that the same kind of process that you use for most of your clients? Like, you've got a designer like James who's helping them kind of reach their vision by iterating on a design?
It requires a good designer. And James Anderson is unique because he has a degree in illustration and a commercial design from Boise State.
Oh, wow.
And so not only is he a designer where he does, signs and stuff, but he's an artist and is artistic. And so he never wants to have anything look similar to somebody else's project.
I've just seen kind of the first little bit go on, and it's going to look fantastic.
With your vision and what you wanted, and with James adding some of his thoughts, I think it's going to be a very cool project when it's completed.
This was a 2-day project, so I went home and came back the next day. Okay, day 2, and this project is coming along so nicely. It looks amazing. I can't wait to show you the whole thing, but let me show you a couple things that we found as they were kind of taking the fenders off that I think are indicative of someone who has a Jeep. So we're just looking at the frame, and we found some telltale signs that Trip here has definitely been off-road. So this is inside the rear fender, and there's rocks on the frame. So if you ever see rocks on the frame like that, that means that your Jeep is living its best life. So here's something that I have to thank my friend Rob from Revere Overland for doing. We were lighting off smoke bombs and filming it, and Rob got a little too close to this cowl. And what you see here is that is melted paint. So he melted it with the smoke bomb. But the good news is we're just gonna wrap this thing and cover it right up. So Rob, no harm, no foul. Now, one of the issues that we're having is that this is the wrapped white, and this is the white paint on the Mojave. And so you can see that this one's definitely bluer than this one. And so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna wrap the rest of this fender. We're gonna wrap cowls and things so you don't have kind of one type of white bleeding into another type of white, which I think will actually give me better paint protection and just look, more consistent overall. So you can see we've got black here on the tailgate, and then we'll put in the Gladiator letters that will also be black, but a slightly different black. So I'm hoping it'll look like a ghosted kind of Gladiator decal, or as they say in Canada, decal. All right, so it's almost done. I can't wait to show you what the whole thing looks like, but there's one more thing we got to put on before we call this thing done. Beautiful.
Guess I'm going back to the side. At least this money never really stops. Hey, little mama, yeah, you heard about me. I'ma pop you like a pea, yeah, at a mommy. Yeah, feel so hot like I'm chilling on the beach. Yeah, baby in the sun like the Teletubbies. Whoa, I'm a big bag hunter with the bow. She got a big bed, drop it low. Mama called me and she happy with the grow. Never ever fall for a thotty, that's an oath.
So let me talk to you a little bit about this design. So I gave them a picture of Eddie Van Halen's guitar, and I said, let this be your inspiration. And the design they came up with was something along those lines, something in that world, but it's not the same. They didn't replicate it, they were inspired by it. So you've got this kind of random geographic pattern happening here. And it's the Mojave orange kind of mixed in as the primary color. And then we've got this fade from black to white. So we have kind of on a black truck back here and a white truck up here, which I love, which is super interesting. And the other thing I told them is to create some angles that kind of match what happens when dirt gets thrown on the side of the rig. So these angles coming up should match kind of how dirt gets thrown on the side of the rig and hopefully look good when it's dirty. But honestly, it's just gonna look good no matter what. I'm just so excited about it. This thing looks so good, I love it. The folks at Image 360 took their time. They paid attention to detail. We talked about how we wanted to do the decals, how we wanted to do the color matching, and they just did such a great job. I am so happy. Now, say what you want about this design. I love it. This is so cool. It's like Eddie Van Halen's guitar reincarnated and changed, and clearly it was inspired by Eddie Van Halen's guitar. It's not topo, it's not camo, it doesn't have mountains, it doesn't have rivers or trees on it, but it's interesting. It's super interesting, and I cannot wait to get it on the trail. And I hope you come back to the channel to watch it on the trail. So until then, I'm Will from Venture to Rome. Thanks for watching.